Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of Dylan Knows. This is episode 650, Oscar Dreams. This is my annual Oscar pick show. I've been doing it on Saturday so that it gets loaded on Sunday so you guys can watch it before the actual Oscars, which is tomorrow night, Sunday. If you do watch it after the Oscars, you'll be able to see how right or wrong I was as well. Or if you want to watch it before, which I'm hoping you do, you'll see, okay, we'll see what he says, and then you can watch the Oscars to see if I'm right or wrong as well. This is my usual show, but this is the weekend I do double duty. So I do the Oscar show today, be in and out probably about half an hour. Tomorrow, Sunday, the 15th, the Ides of March, March 15th, the Ides of March, will be my regular episode of Dylan Knows. I've got a lot of stuff worked up for that, including the Ides of Mea Culpa, Buffy the Vampire Slayer gets some distressing news, and what are some other big ones? And I'm pissed at myself because I had written the whole episode out by Friday at work, and then I forgot and left the stuff at work, so I have to rewrite it to this weekend, which pisses me off to no end. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the Oscars. And for those who don't know, I've been doing this show for close to 13 years now, 13 years September, actually. And every year I do an Oscar pick. And even before I was doing my shows, I always pick my Oscars. I'm a huge movie guy. I love movies. Wanted to be a director at one point. One of my fantasies I go and delve back into when things get too tough for me is me being a hugely popular and amazing director. But that's neither here nor there. But we're doing my usual thing here. This is my Oscar ballot. I have it all filled out. You can't see it because the lighting is terrible, but this is it. It's from Vanity Fair. I usually do it. The Oscars are tomorrow night. I want to say 8:30. No, it's got to be earlier than that. I got to check. I got to be sure myself what time are the Oscars. 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. they say. I doubt it's going to go that long. Or they'll go for that long of a time. So the ceremony starts at 7. Okay. So I guess they're trying to start it earlier so that it will end earlier. So I'll have to be sure to be aware of that. Okay. I was not expecting that, but all right, we'll do that. All right. So 7 to 10 tomorrow. Interesting. Thought it was going to be later than that, but I guess they want to try to get it out. And so if it does go 4 hours long, it'll be 11 o'clock by the time it's over. So, sorry, I always have to yawn every time I do this show. So, there we go. So what I usually do is I read the Oscar, the nominees, and I pick who I think is going to win. I don't do it in any particular order. Of course, I'll do the big ones near the end anyway. But this year's Oscars is different. Last year, we had 23 awards, and I went 17-6, which is decent. I did 18-5 the year before that, so I want to stay in that window. This year, I'm nervous. I don't know if I'm going to get that this year because there's a lot of battles going on between Sinners and one battle after another and a few other battles going on, and you can't tell because now you've got sort of Sinners being an all African-American cast versus One Battle for Another that has a couple of African-Americans in it, but is mostly a bunch of older white dudes. And there's always been an issue with the whole hashtag Hollywood so white or Oscar so white, excuse me, where they would pick a lesser white actor over a better black actor or actress to win the award. And it got to be a pretty major deal for a while there, and then it's been supposedly getting a little bit better right now. I think there's different voting rules and stuff like that now, so I'm not sure how it's actually going to work, but it's just that's what's causing a lot of the issues because are we still sort of in this Oscar so white phase that, One Battle for Another, or Timmy douchebag Chalamet is going to win an award, or do we need to actually focus on who actually did the best jobs? So was a really hard one. Supposedly, it was really it's best supporting actor this year. Usually, best supporting actor is usually one of the easiest ones to nail. This year is not that easy, and there really is not too many slam dunks. There's a couple, but we'll get all of that. But so just like with the Oscars, what I'll do is I'll read the nominees and I'll tell you who my winner is. So first up, we will be doing. Gotta mark it every time I do one. Like they do in the Oscars, they always try to start with a big one. So, Best Supporting Actress, the nominees are Elle Fanning for Sentimental Value, Inga Ibsdottir Lias for Sentimental Value, Amy Madigan for Weapons, Wunmi Mosaku for Sinners, and Teyana Taylor, One Battle After Another. So far, the overwhelming, and the Oscar goes to, in my opinion, Amy Madigan for Weapons, because Amy Madigan has basically won pretty much every award so far this year. Though don't be surprised if a Teyana Taylor or Wunmi Mosaku win as well. They've won a couple of awards from very other critically acclaimed stuff, but I think Amy Madigan's got this one pretty much nailed in the bag. As I said, Best Supporting Actor is the hardest one to go by. The nominees are Benicio del Toro for One Battle After Another, Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein, Delroy Lindo for Sinners, Sean Penn for One Battle After Another, and Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. And the Oscar goes to Delroy Lindo for Sinners. This is one of my hopeful picks, one of my ones that I'm not 100% certain on it. Sean Penn has come on strong lately and has won a bunch recently. Stellan Skarsgård started off award season with winning a bunch of these supporting actors as well. And Delroy Lindo sort of swooped in there and won the Actors Award, the SAG Award last week. And I have a feeling I'm probably wrong on this, but I'm still going and hopeful that maybe Delroy Lindo, who I hope wins this one. If not, it'll either be a Sean Penn or Stellan Skarsgård will be the winner. So I'm going to give you a couple of who I think is going to win, and then ones that I have second or third places in there as well. So Best Supporting Actor, Delroy Lindo for Sinners. Now we're just going to jump all over the places. Boom. Best Sound, the nominees are F1, Frankenstein, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Seurat. I think F1 is going to win this one. The Oscar goes to F1. In my opinion, I think they're going to win that one because it's a car movie. And I think the guy who directed Top Gun Maverick. I think Top Gun Maverick won sound for the airplane stuff. So I think and F1 has a lot of sound to it, obviously, with the cars and stuff like that. So that's my choice for that. This one's a slam dunk. Best visual effects, the nominees are Avatar, Fire and Ash, F1, Jurassic World Rebirth, The Lost Bus, Sinners. And the winner, the Oscar goes to Avatar, Fire and Ash, blah, blah, blah. They're always going to win. Whenever they're nominated, they always win. The amazing visual effects, blah, blah, blah. This one's a boring, blah, 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 blah. Where should I jump to next? Best Original Song. The nominees are Dear Me by Diane Warren. From Diane Warren, Relentless. Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters. I Lied to You from Sinners. Sweet Dreams of Joy, Viva Verdi, and Train Dreams from Train Dreams. The Oscar goes to, this one's pretty much a slam dunk also. Golden for K-Pop Demon Hunters is probably going to win this one. They've won most every time you've seen this, with the possibility that I Lied to You from Sinners might pull an upset here and there. But I think you're going to see Golden win this one as well. Best Makeup and Hairstyling. The nominees are Frankenstein, Kokuho, Sinners, The Smashing Machine, and The Ugly Stepsister. This one's pretty much an easy one also. The Oscar goes to Frankenstein, just because it's Frankenstein. And, Sinners, really the only makeup was the vampires. Yeah, sure, that might be interesting, but And the rest, I don't know. I think that Frankenstein might not be winning a lot of awards, and they still want to give it awards. So this one's going to win for that one. Now we're going to enter the window of the 3 categories that I will always have trouble with because I don't watch these. So I just sometimes I throw a dart or I listen to what other people have been saying also, or I, for some reason, specific names stick out to me and I pick those. So these are the ones I usually lose on, but sometimes I win. This year, I just went with my gut on these, so I'm probably going to lose them, but we'll see. The nominees for Best Live Action Short are Butcher's Stain, A Friend of Dorothy, Jane Austen's period drama, The Singers, Two People Exchanging Saliva. I threw a dart. I think A Friend of Dorothy is going to win, though my first inkling was Jane Austen's period drama, but I think it's not about Jane Austen. I think it's about periods. But okay. Ow. My cat clawed me in my back. Hi, Pepper. He has to make his appearance also. My big man. He's going to watch the Oscars with us, too. So, A Friend of Dorothy, I think. I just, again, threw a dart at it, and I think it's probably going to win. The nominees for Best Animated Short Film are Butterfly, Forever Green, The Girl Who Cried Pearls, Retirement Plan, and The Three Sisters. The Oscar goes to Retirement Plan. That's my choice. Again, threw a dart at it. Don't know if it's going to win or not, but that's my choices there. Best Documentary Short. The nominees are Death of Brent, Children No More, Where and Are Gone, The Devil is Busy, and Perfectly a Strangeness. I picked the winner is Devil's. Might win this one as well. Again, I don't know. Hold on a second. There we go. I don't know, but I picked The Devil is Busy for Best Documentary Short. I don't know for sure. I have a feeling, though, that I think Armed Only with a Camera, The Life and Death of Brent Renault might win also. Pepper, you're really starting to hurt me. All right, so next up, we have Best Costume Design. The nominees are Avatar Fire and Ash from Deborah L. Scott, Frankenstein, Kate Hawley, Hamnet, Malgosia Terzanska, Marty Supreme, Mayoka Belize, and Sinners, Ruth E. Carter. The Oscar goes to Hamnet. Again, I don't know if Hamnet's going to win all that many, but I think they want to give some to them. And costumes for like a period kind of drama, Shakespeare era sort of thing would kind of make sense for costumes. Let's see. Best Original Score. The nominees are Begonia, Jerskin Fandrix. That's a cool name. Frankenstein, Alexandre Desplat. Hamnet, Max Richter. One Battle After Another, Johnny Greenwood. Sinners, Ludwig Göransson. Ludwig is going to continue his streak. He's going to win. Sinners is going to win the original score. I think I'm just going to go with that instead of the Oscar goes to, because I do that when I do my rundown of the Oscars next week. Pepper, you're showing the whole world your butt. Yes, you are. You're a good boy. Okay. What's up next? Best Production Design. Why not? The nominees are Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle for Another, Sinners. Again, I think on a movie like this, I think the winner is going to be Frankenstein. Set design, stuff like that. Production design. I was going to try to go for some of the ones that are a little bit more, have a lot more going on than certain areas as well. So those are my choice for that one. What's up next? I'm trying to figure out. Best Editing. The nominees are, I gotta get this out of the way. My cat. You're being very, very helpful, but also very annoying. Best editing, the nominees are F1 from Stephen Maroney, Marty Supreme from Ronald Bornstein and Josh Safdie. One battle after another. I can't read you in my face. One battle after another. Andy Jurgensen, Sentimental Value, Olivier Bouget, Coutray, and Sinners, Michael P. Shover. I think One Battle After Another wins this one. No reason. I just have a feeling it's going to win just due to Oscars and picking and trying to spread out what they can between trying to do Oscar so white and try to show that they are into equality and stuff like that. So we'll see, but I think is going to win that one. Let's see, who haven't I done yet? Best International Feature. The nominees are The Secret Agent from Brazil, It Was Just an Accident from France, Sentimental Value from Norway, Surat from Spain, The Voice of Hind Rajab from Tunisia. I believe the winner is going to be Sentimental Value from Norway. It's been getting lots of press. It got nominated for the Oscar for Best Picture, as did The Secret Agent, which if Sentimental Value doesn't win, Secret Agent will probably be the other one that it would probably be. But I think Sentimental Value just has won too much this year and has had this one just been all over the place. I think they're going to continue their streak and win that one. Excuse me. Best Documentary Feature. This one's fairly easy, I think. The nominees are The Alabama Solution, Come See Me in the Good Light, Cutting Through Rocks, Mr. Nobody Against Putin, and The Perfect Neighbor. The Perfect Neighbor and the winner is going to be Perfect Neighbor. In my opinion, that's the one I've seen all the time. Whenever I've come across awards that have documentaries, The Perfect Neighbor always seems to be the one that wins that one. So I think that they're going to win that one as well. Best Animated Feature, another one I think is a slam dunk. The nominees are Arco, Elio, K-Pop Demon Hunters, Little Emily, or The Character of Rain, Zootopia 2. I think this one's a slam dunk for K-Pop Demon Hunters. I think they're going to win this one. I think if anything beats it, it'll probably be Zootopia 2, maybe Arco, but I don't think anything's beaten K-Pop Demon Hunters this year. So those are that. Best Cinematography is another tough one. The nominees are Frankenstein, Dan Lostson, Marty Supreme, Darius Kanji, One Battle for Another, Michael Ballman, Sinners, Autumn Durald Aracapal, and Train Dreams, Adolfo Velosa. This is the only one I'm having doubts on. I picked Sinners as the winner because it's won a bunch of that, but I've heard a lot of really good things about Train Dreams, and it's not going to really win a lot of stuff. And if it does, if they try to want to give everybody something, Train Dreams might win this one. I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I think I wish I would have changed my mind, but I'm going to stick with the Sinners Train and pick that for Best Cinematography. But I think if you don't feel as strongly about it as I do, I think Train Dreams would probably be a good one to go for also. So we'll see what happens. All right, we're down to some of the final big ones. As I said, this show is pretty short. I don't really give any rhyme or reason why I picked these. These are just sort of feelings I've had and just things I've seen around here. So for the first time in a really long time, we have a new category, brand new category, making it 24 awards now. The brand new category is Best Casting, and the nominees are Hamnet, Nina Gold, Marty Supreme, Jennifer Venditti, One Battle After Another, Cassandra Koulou-Kundis, and The Secret Agent, Gabrielle Dominguez, and Sinners, Francine Maisler. Now, here's where it gets interesting. I've been having this in my head the whole time. The winner's going to be Sinners, but hear me out. I think Best Casting was created basically for almost like a silver medal runner-up consolation sort of prize. So if you have a couple of movies that are the top ones and you don't know, you don't want to disappoint either one of them, whatever one wins this one, the other one will probably win Best Picture. So I think Sinners is going to win Best Casting. I've had that in my head for a really long time. One Battle for Another is probably the other one that of all these potentially could be the winner as well. And again, that's determined upon, in my stupid brain, the way I'm thinking, I don't think Best Casting and Best Picture are going to be the same movie. I think Best Casting is the runner-up, the consolation prize. So whoever wins Best Casting will not win the Best Picture. That's my opinion. I could be totally wrong and find out tomorrow how wrong I am. But in this case, and I've had Sinners in my head since they introduced this and they had the nominees. I've been thinking that Sinners was going to win this one the whole time, so I'm going to stick with my gut on this one. But if Sinners does not win, and One Battle for Another does, which I think is the only other choice in this section, look for Sinners to win Best Picture then. So as I said, I think it's going to be flip-flop. But we'll talk about that in a second. So that's just my opinion there. I think that's all of them except for the major ones. Let me just double check and make sure. Yep. Yep. All right. All we got left are the big ones. Best Original Screenplay. The nominees are Blue Moon, It Was Just an Accident, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. I think Sinners wins this one in a landslide. I couldn't tell you. Sentimental Value maybe could be a backup on that, or even Marty Supreme if they want to give it to somebody. But Sinners, in my opinion, is going to win Best Original Screenplay. Best Adapted Screenplay. The nominees are Begonia, screenplay by Will Tracy, Frankenstein, written for the screen by Guillermo del Toro, Hamnet, screenplay by Chloe Zhao and Maggie O'Farrell, One Battle for Another, written by Paul Thomas Anderson, and Train Dreams, screenplay by Clint Bentley and Greg Quadar. And I think the winner of this one's going to be One Battle After Another, written by Paul Thomas Anderson, just because I think the two big movies this year are going to sweep the screenplay awards. Again, I could be wrong. If they want to give everybody who's Best Picture, whatever, a chance to win something, they're not winning everything. I think these two are pretty much the ones that pretty much swept the entirety of the writing awards for the most part. So, moving on with that. Best Actress. The nominees are Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, Rose Byrne, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, Kate Hudson for Song Song Blue, Renate Renesev for Sentimental Value, and Emma Stone for Begonia. This is a two-woman race, but I think Jessie Buckley pulls ahead and wins for Hamnet. I think if she does not win, Rose Byrne will win for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. They pretty much have been splitting the awards since the beginning of award season back in October. So it's hard to say. My choice, though, is I think Jessie Buckley's going to win. She's got the momentum, but do not be surprised if Rose Byrne pulls the upset on this one also. But I think Jessie Buckley's got this one in the bag. Best Actor is another tough one this year. The nominees are Timothy Douchebag Chalamet for Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio for One Battle for Another, Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, and Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent. Now, this has been another one of the toughest ones to pick. And I'm going with my gut on this one, even though I'm probably going to be wrong. I think Michael B. Jordan absolutely deserves to win this one. I think he's going to win this one in a surprise. Everyone's thinking that Timothy Douchebag Chalamet is going to win this one. So I have him marked as a second. I don't think Leonardo is winning this one. Ethan Hawke is one people are saying really shouldn't be slept on, but I don't think he's in the conversation, and that's a shame because I love Ethan Hawke. And Wagner Moura has won a couple of awards for Best Actor in other positions, but right now it's always been a Timothy Chalamet, aka Douchebag, and Michael B. Jordan competition. Michael B. Jordan absolutely deserves it more than the Douchebag does. He's playing two roles that are completely different, and you can tell the difference between them because of the way Michael B. Jordan plays them. And I do not think that was originally the plan. I think when they were coming up with the idea for Sinners, I think Chadwick Boseman was supposed to play his brother, and it wasn't going to be twins. I think it was just going to be brothers. And I just had that's what I'd heard, is that I think that if Chadwick wouldn't have died, he would have been in that movie as well. So The fact that your backup is to have Michael B. Jordan play two completely different characters is outstanding. He just won the actor award, which I guess not half, but like a third of the voting for the Oscars are actors, and the fact that he won the actor award is very telling. Though Timothy douchebag Chalamet is the favorite to win, and the revote is not going to be affected by what the douchebag said about how ballet and opera are pieces of shit and should not be supported, and put your money in movies so that he can continue to have a healthy thing. And just I don't know anybody who goes to opera or ballet, so they should just get rid of it. It's basically what he said in a conversation with Matthew McConaughey, who didn't correct him. So Matthew McConaughey is sort of in my doghouse now also. But the voting for the revote for this happened after that or before that conversation. So it'll be interesting if douchebag does win to see the reception he gets from the audience, and that might be worth it in itself. But I really, really hope that Michael B. Jordan's able to pull the upset, which it should be an upset because he absolutely deserves to be Best Actor. In this one, I'm going with my gut on this one. I think Michael B. Jordan is going to win this one. But it's more likely going to be Timothy douchebag Chalamet, and I hope he gets booed to hell. Best Director, this one's a shame also, but this one's pretty much a given also. The nominees are Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle for Another, Ryan Coogler for Sinners, Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme, Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value, and Chloe Zhao for Hamnet. Paul Thomas Anderson is going to win this one. He is for One Battle After Another. Ryan Coogler deserves to win this one, should win this one, and if he pulls the upset, he's going to be the one that's going to win it over the other three in this list as well. As I said, it's a two-man race between One Battle for Another and Sinners right now, and Sinners has the momentum because they had the most Oscar nominees of the Oscars, but at the same time, we have the Oscar so white mentality, and the prevalent racism due to the pedo in charge right now that we've got building a racist presidency and turning our country against each other because he's a piece of shit douchebag, but that's besides the point. Paul Thomas Anderson is a well-loved director in Hollywood and from film geeks who piss me off also. I should call them more nerds because geeks are cooler. And nerds are fine too. It's just a hard word to find. But film people, the ones who just make film their entire life, think that they're better than everybody else, they are going to be all in on Paul Thomas Anderson winning this. He's had a number of big hits. Hollywood has never given him an award yet. And this feels like that they're going to give this one to him. He's been winning basically most everything right now. When it comes to Best Director, as I said, Ryan Coogler absolutely deserves to win this one, but he will not. Paul Thomas Anderson wins with One Battle for Another. Finally, the final film, final award is Best Picture. The nominees are Begonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle for Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams. The winner is going to be One Battle After Another. It's been winning more over Sinners, but it is a two-man race. As I said, it's between One Battle After Another and Sinners. As I said, also, just keep an eye on this, and I'm going to see if I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, whatever, and I'll do another mea culpa next week. But I just feel that Hollywood is going to choose One Battle After Another over Sinners, because they don't like horror, even though the horror aspect of Sinners does not pop up till the last half of the movie. And not even that, it's not even half, it's like the last, it's prevalent through the whole movie, but it's about the last 30 to 40 minutes of the movie is this horror accent. And they're not really into the horror aspect of movies that well. One Battle After Another is your typical sort of Hollywood blockbuster, not blockbuster, Oscar bait type of movie, and that's why it's probably going to win this one. And that's why I also believe that Sinners is going to win Best Casting. And I think, as I said before, whoever wins Best Casting will be coming in second place over Best Picture. Usually there's a two-man race. And that's, as I said, this is the first year for this award, so we'll see how that actually plays out. But to me, it was a two-person race and one battle after another in Sinners. And I think that whoever wins Best Picture, the other one is going to win Best Casting, just because I think that's what they're going to be using it for, as more of a consolation second prize. Now, if there's something else where there's a whole bunch of movies, like 3 or 4, that are all sort of neck and neck sort of thing, then it makes it a little bit more interesting. But you usually don't have 3 or 4 that are like, okay, it could be any of these. It's usually a 1 to 2 person race, and we'll see what happens. I think some other ideas is a good example is Forrest Gump winning in '94. I still think deserves it, despite everybody screaming and yelling that Pulp Fiction should have won. Pulp Fiction probably would have won Best Casting with the consolation prize that I can think of there. And then the one that everybody doesn't like, Shakespeare in Love, beating Saving Private Ryan. I think if Best Casting was involved with that, Saving Private Ryan would have won Best Casting also, I believe, as well. That's why I just, looking back at film history and award history, it just feels to me that Best Casting is going to be bringing in a second place prize, particularly after the Moonlight La La Land fiasco from a few years ago, where, again, you had a two-person kind of race. La La Land had the high ground, but it started falling apart during the Oscars, and Moonlight started winning a lot more. And so when they had the whole mix-up that made things more interesting, La La Land probably would have won Best Casting, and Moonlight won Best Picture. So it's one of the things we just got to. I just have a feeling that they're putting Best Cast. They decided, hey, after what we've been going through over the last few years, we've had a couple of movies that people saying it's between 1 or 2 of these movies, 2 or 3 of these movies. We need to have an award to give as a consolation prize. I know I keep beating a dead horse on that, but I'm just trying to give you my point of view of what this is. Now, in another year or so, I'm not exactly sure when it's coming out, but I think it's another year or 2, we'll get another award, which is long coming also, Best Stunts. And I think that's going to be an awesome addition to make it a 25 award thing. So I think that's a really good idea. So there's really not much more else you can add, I think, to the Oscars. Best Stunts is a good one. So hopefully that'll, I think it's popping up within the next couple of years. I don't think it's next year. It might be in time for the 100th anniversary of the Oscars in about 2 years. So we'll see. But for now, that's my list. I'm not as confident as I have been the last couple of years in this. I think I'm down for a down year. I've had a couple of good years so far. I think just because there is a lot going on with the Oscars so white versus we trying to be a bit more, extending the olive branch to other aspects. I think there's going to be that war going on, and we'll find out. So thanks for watching the show. Come back here next week when I will do the winners and give you my breakdown of how well I did and my final discussions on it. Tomorrow, Sunday, the 15th, the Ides of March of 15th of March, I will be doing my regular episode of Dylan Knows. So another hour and a half of my glorious face here in the afternoon, probably sometime Sunday afternoon. Won't be in the evening because I got to go to work next day, which could be a pain because now they're calling for a massive potential amount of tornadoes and hail, potential snow and heavy rain, stuff like that coming our way on Monday. So another great weather thing here, and there's no climate change, not at all. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Oscars. Real quick, one last thing I want to throw out there. I'm going to make a wild prediction about next year. I know it's hard to say right now. There's I forget what his first name is, but the last name is Inarritu, is a director. He did Birdman with Michael Keaton, and he did The Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio. He has a new movie coming out next year, 2027. Actually, it's coming out this year, 2026. It'll be in the Oscars for next year with Tom Cruise, called The Digger. I'm going to make my bold prediction right now, and I'll see if I'll stick with it when I get to this point 1 year from today. I believe Tom Cruise will be nominated for Best Actor in The Digger, and he will win Best Actor for The Digger. Not seeing any of the other movies and not seeing the other, as of now, still early in the year, but not hearing about the other movies that are coming out, potential movies that could be Oscar bait down the line. If you look at what's coming out, there really isn't a lot right now, but obviously that changes because the film schedules change all the time. So I'm going to make my bold prediction now. I think The Digger is going to get a bunch of nominations, and I think Tom Cruise is going to get a nomination for Best Actor, and he's going to win Best Actor next year. Michael Keaton won for Birdman, and Leonardo DiCaprio won for The Revenant. Both Inarritu was the director for that. So you have another movie with him in it, with another big-time star who deserves an Oscar. We'll see. Of course, it also depends upon what Emma Stone is going to be doing this year, and who knows. And I hope and pray, because I love this cast to death, that Devil Wears Prada 2 gets Best Casting. It won't, but I tell you what, I love that cast, no end. So that's my way, way, way early 2027 Oscar prediction. We'll come back here a year and we'll see if he'll be on this list in the 2027 Oscar ballot. But I believe Tom Cruise will be nominated for Best Actor for The Digger, and he will win it. That's my prediction. Thanks for watching. Come back here again tomorrow for more fun news, including, as I said, bad news about the Buffy reboot, my mea culpa, craziness with the Ravens. My daughter's college is going dancing, and a few other things. And I'm, again, still mad at myself because I had the whole episode written out on Friday. We're just going to add the news from today and tomorrow, and it would have been taking me 5 minutes to do that. Now I have to rewrite the whole goddamn thing. Fun. Enjoy the rest of your day. Oscars tomorrow, 7 to 10, apparently. Conan O'Brien's hosting again. He did a decent job last year, so we'll continue. Hopefully he'll continue with that. He was fine. It was a simple thing. Hopefully it'll go fast. And we'll see how things work out. Cheers, tally-ho. Watch the Oscars tomorrow night. And watch this show and see if I am good or bad. Oh, I'm very bad, but can be very good.